Let's bring in retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General and Newsmax contributor Blaine Holt, along with former acting DEA administrator and senior vice president at Penlink, Derek Maltz. Appreciate you both being here. General, I want to start with you. Given John Huddy's report that Nicolas Maduro, the Venezuelan government, is backing these drug runners and these drug cartels, without the United States military, is it even possible to stop them? You see why President Trump is using it, because without it, I feel like it's just going to keep coming through. This is necessary.
It is, and it's going to take a whole of government approach, not just what you can see with your own eyes, the United States Navy parking off the coast of Venezuela. By the way, they're in proximity to a whole lot of other cartel harboring type nations as well. But there's going to be clandestine elements to this as well. There'll be folks on the ground that are going to be in harm's way. There's going to be our folks here, our first responders here, our National Guard. The cartels are on every main street in every municipality. Pulling this string is the domino to not just crime and fentanyl and deaths here in the United States, but worldwide, the laundering, the banking, the Chinese Communist Party. And let's not forget that 70,000 died every year from fentanyl, well more than the Vietnam War every year. And so the president is right to get at this. And no, we're not going to be apprehending terrorists. If we find that they're streaking by on a boat, you don't get more of our time than a missile shot and goodbye.
Derek, let's talk about the drug poisonings, because that's what's happening. People aren't overdosing. They're being poisoned purposefully. These chemicals are being smuggled in. President Trump doing everything he can to save American lives, but they're still coming in. People think that kids experimenting, thinking they're taking a Xanax, but really they're taking fentanyl. There's even a more potent drug, which Narcan can even revive them. So talk to us about how devastating the drug epidemic has become and what can be done about it? Because the president obviously is doing what he can, but talk to us also about the local authorities.
So, Lydia, thank you. So I just want to show this real quick. This is infants that are dying all over America from this poison that's coming from the Chinese labs. And the cartels have formed this alliance, as we all know, for many years to actually work to make a lot of money. But let's go back to Venezuela quick. It's a narco state. It's been operating that way about 20 years. Cartel del Sols is a terrorist organization. They work with the FARC in Colombia, the ELN in Colombia. They're moving massive ton quantities. And what President Trump did with this unprecedented kinetic strike was not only to save Americans, but he's saving people that are addicted to cocaine around the world. So he's saving people in our country, but he's helping our allies around the world. And he's brave enough and courageous enough to treat terrorists the way they should be treated. They should feel pain and suffering, just like our families and communities around America have felt this for many years. You see behind me, Lydia, the wall just keeps growing with more and more of these, these poor, innocent kids, in many cases being deceived to death. But, the leaders in Venezuela, right, they form close partnerships with, Cartel del Sols is part of their government. And this is recently been designated as especially designated global terrorist by the Treasury of the United States. So the game has changed, Mr. Maduro, and you could talk all your rhetoric. I can't even call you President Maduro because the rigged elections down there. But at the end of the day, thank you, President Trump, for stepping up. But today there was also a big announcement in Houston. They seized a record amount of synthetic chemicals that came in from China. They're going to Mexico to produce meth. An Operation Hydra.
The compounds,
President Trump is doing all he can.
In order to make that, we also want to point out Florida Senator Rick Scott wants the bounty on Maduro's head raised to $100 million ASAP. Pretty serious stuff there. Okay, gentlemen, thanks for coming on.
Take care. Have a great day.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.